Hi guys. Serious one. Sorry. She's still sleeping. I'm not really feeling like laughing right now, but sorry about my voice being quieted. This is what happens when I'm overwhelmed. My autistic brain just goes quiet inside, and I stop being able to use my words, but I will do my best. I knew this time was coming where it would get to a dangerous point with my condition. I'm not stupid. When you have a Rett syndrome, you're the expert. You know the facts. It's not always fun knowing the facts. Sometimes I wish it was nice to have something else to not know facts and live in ignorance a little bit less. I'm just not doing well. Maybe you've noticed in the videos, maybe you haven't. My energy windows are smaller. My symptoms have been less controllable. Even without thinking, you know, my seizures have really gotten worse in the last 12 months compared to how controlled they were before that. So, and of course my heart has not been the same since last year, and I had that event, so that hasn't helped, and that was COVID sort of tips that into that. Anyone with a bad heart, COVID is not good. One more COVID, who knows? That could get me and take me. But basically, which is, you know, kind of scary sometimes, because winter's coming up in Perth. But at the moment, I'm not well. They haven't even, I've already come off the back of a late diagnosis due to childhood neglect, really. If I had attentive parents, it would have been picked up a lot sooner, before I was 18 probably. That's somewhere along that line. So it's already hard enough that I've been a victim of the typical female gaslighting scenarios, or the typical many diagnoses. And look, there wasn't really misdiagnoses much at all. It was all correct diagnoses, but they all come under 22q. But they thought it was just one thing each time, you know, and it's just like, why do I feel so much worse than everyone else with that one thing? I could never work it out. Now I know. Now I know. I found out at 48 though. That's a little bit late, considering the average lifespan of 22qers is 41 and a half years of age. So it's not good enough, right? They haven't completed, even though my geneticist has contacted my adult hospital, because, you know, children's hospital has specialists, but adults don't. Apparently adults don't matter anymore for healthcare in Australia. So I think that's bullshit, to be honest. I think that if children have a specialist, so should an adult. We don't grow out of it. But the fact is, they diagnosed me at 48, had major dangerous symptoms prior. I've had major dangerous symptoms after, because it doesn't go away. And just getting diagnosed, I didn't just catch it. I was born with it. And I've had many signs of heart problems ever since childhood. Fainting is one thing, okay? And then as an adult, so many things. Getting heart problems in my early 30s. That's not normal, guys. So all the signs being there, we know what it is. Got late diagnosed. And on top of all of that, they haven't completed all the testing. Max, no, no, no. Cheeky kitten. So haven't completed all the tests of what the guidelines of what anyone, whether it's a baby born with it, whether it's a late diagnosis, it doesn't matter. When a person is diagnosed, a range of tests must be done because it tells all. And I haven't even had that completed in over 2 years. Sorry. And basically, my symptoms are getting dangerous. My doctor's written a urgent concerned letter to the hospital yesterday because we're in this loop in our health system where you go to ED, they say, but we want you to see outpatients, and then they make you wait because you've got to go back to your doctor and GPs. So we have a shortage, and I see mine for an hour and a half every 3 weeks as it is. And we just go in circles anyway. And then you go to outpatient, they think, oh, it can't be that urgent because you're not at ED for this. So it just gets stupid. So basically, it's just a circular game of just, I don't want to give healthcare, I'm a business, I'm not actually a health system anymore. And rares get this more than anyone. So anyone out there with rare, you know what I'm talking about. And I'm talking about Australia, so I don't know what it's like where you are. But let me know in other countries, feel free to. But here, their opinion of us is that, well, you're not going to live long, so we're not going to save you. That's pretty much the prognosis for me. Now I disagree. And so I'm fighting for my life right now because they're breaching more than 12 now human rights. I've already had that proven by the Human Rights Commission. I've been told by the human rights lawyer that I have a medical negligence case. I've had a lawyer tell me that because they were going to take me on, but medical negligence cases are expensive. And so no win, no fee. They'd love to help, but because they know that I've got a case, that money is involved, and it is. You've got to get independent doctors, you've got to get independent specialists, everything, because when it comes to court, it comes to nitty-gritties, right? And nitty-gritties all add up, and it's all expensive, etc. Okay? Because basically, let's just go with you can call it a urban legend, but it's true. Every doctor in Perth protects each other. Fact. There's rare few that go, no, I do what's right for the patient. And we know that in society, don't we? Most people are just out there for themselves, don't care about anyone. Then you've got this small percentage changing worlds, changing people's lives. It's just how it is. And they just continue to lie because they don't want to give me heart care, because it's a bit like I guess it was God working mysterious ways in my eyes, but I was at this disability shop just to get some supplies for disability stuff, and we just happened to be talking, and she said, and this is after we just had a massive in-depth conversation about my scariness of my heart with my GP, one of the appointments a while back now. And so we were already in that mode of oh, this is just so stressful to get me heart care. And then she says, because she goes, oh, do you have private health cover? And we said, oh, look, we're NJS. It's all good. And she's like, oh, that's okay. Oh, I was just going to say, I just know that when it come to this friend of mine, when she needed heart care, she had to go private because they don't do it here. The public system. The public system has so many private patients going to my public hospital. I go to the so-called public. Has so many people going there that pay. And what does that do? It pushes me out. And I'm not being racist here at all, or against other immigrants or anything like that. But our hospitals, if you're going to let immigrants in, that's one thing. But you have to actually expand the hospitals to cater for all, and you haven't. And what's happened is you're so busy with your paying clients because you're a business, not a specialist anymore. You're a businessman or woman, and Australians aren't getting seen. Bowel cancer's on the rise again. Are we going backwards, health department? I think so. So I'm not saying that I'm like, oh, I'm going to be anti-immigration. I'm saying if you're going to have extra people, you're going to need extra facilities. And that goes for education as well. It goes for everything. That's what taxes pay for. These immigrants come here and pay taxes. But the sad thing is, you should not, this is where I don't agree. Yes, you pay if you're immigrating and under a certain status, you pay, sure. But they should not be put based on first because they're paying and you're through Medicare. That shouldn't be happening. That's the bit I'm talking about. Everyone should just be going in like a phone call and everyone just gets booked in, right? And then triage to a certain extent. So, but that's not happening. To me, that's corruption. I'm sorry. There's private hospitals for that. I don't have that option. Especially with this excess that they've created, $1,000 a year every visit you might have to go, every in-stay, and it's like, oh great, well I in-stay a lot, so that's not going to, $1,000 a year, where am I going to get that from? I can't even afford private cover. But basically, just ignoring me, and the fact that there's so many medical professionals who know how at risk I am and what services I need, and they're giving up on me because they just like the cardiologist said, put her out to pasture is what we do. Just sick of it. We're fighting and I feel like we're losing. And it's hard just sitting here. While everyone else is just doesn't even realise this is happening in Australia. There are people dying in our healthcare system, not just suffering as in long waits, injury. Some people aren't making it at all. And that's not okay with me because I'm a common good person. I want the best for the common good. It doesn't matter who you are, what you are, where you come from, what colour you are. It doesn't matter. Common good. Everyone deserves healthcare, education, housing. These are all basic needs. Essentials, right? And I'm a Perth-born Australian and I can't get healthcare in Perth. They treat me like crap because I make them feel stupid because rare, you know more about it, and so you have to explain it to them, which is what's recommended too. you're taught this, you're recommended to teach them about your syndrome, because not every doctor comes across 22q syndrome in their career. So, but of course, their big ego, they won't let me in to speak, as in, not literally, they do let me in, like, it's, you know, they won't listen to me. I'm a girl, for starters, which is so immature. I can't believe I have to say that in 2025. I just can't. Second, they think rare people should just be grateful that we survived so long, and, well, you should just accept that you're going to die. Even though they have equipment and treatments and all sorts of things to make me better. As in, not make me better, but like keep me alive, keep me doing better. It's a fact, they do. We know they do. My doctor knows they do. Other practitioners around me know they do. And yet they just refuse to use it for me because I don't tick a certain box. A certain box. So if I ticked another box, it's a yes. Green light, go for it. But then again, I think there's also been a problem in this situation, is the medical negligence. So in the discrimination, it pointed that out. So naturally now they come at me with lawyers, which means they don't want to do anything for me properly because I'm a liability, even though I don't have the money to sue them. So, and they know that. I'm very sure that they know that. I don't think that that's something that they don't know. But still, they, just in case, you know, just in case, you know, she could go on the media, or she could somehow get found and it gets leads back to us, and it's just, can we just stop for a minute? This isn't about anyone else. The medical system, the care system. Sir, my children's not about anyone. Help me. I'm going through this, and I'm scared, and I'm not supported medically at all. And my future looks like dying in a hospital corridor or ambulance. That's what I see. Because my heart is getting worse and worse and worse. They have no intention of stepping in. They haven't even checked the heart out to the extent that the geneticist wants, that the guidelines all say should. They don't care. I'm nothing to this world. And I don't say that because I believe that's my worth. That's how society sees me. I'm on the abortion list. I mean, think about that for a second. Think about having a condition that's on the abortion list. It's just, I don't know how to explain the feeling. It's bad enough that you people like me, it's not like the TV. Most of us lose our families because they can't be bothered dealing with a medically complex child. My mother was exhausted with my medical complexities for 18 years, that it was like, get the fuck out of home. But it's just so risky now that I feel scared. And sadly, I should be. It's not something that's an anxiety or phobia that's irrational. It's actually very rational. And that's what scares me the most. is that, I miss the days where you would get scared of something and be able to say to yourself, you know what, it's okay, really. That's probably not going to happen. I don't get to say that this time. So when you think about your anxiety, if you're young and you're just learning to deal with it, think of that. At least you've got some control and you can learn to control it and enjoy that process of learning that, because one day you won't be able to blame it on the anxiety and say, I'm just catastrophizing. I'm just taking this to the next level. It sucks that my anxiety over my position right now and my condition right now, that I am actually surprised that they've let it get this far. I thought they would step in at this point. I'm still being naive, obviously. But it's just, I wish I could say that it's just like, oh no, it's not really that bad. It's going to be okay. It's just not going to be okay. Not unless, like, I don't know, the media, or I get some lawyer to kick their butt, because begging them has done nothing. Health department defends them because they don't care. But all I want at this point, this is how much I've lowered my standard for this system, is I want to die in peace. I don't want to die in pain. And not in a corridor and not in a hospital. But it's just not fair, because they could do something for me. They have the power. But they're not going to give it to me. It feels like a theme of my life. Everyone's given up on me that I've loved the most. They always give up on me. It's kind of a theme. But maybe heaven needs me. I don't know. Maybe this is one of those when you're hanging over a cliff, cliffhanger. Maybe something huge could happen in my life to turn it the opposite direction. That's all you can hope for as you're falling into that pit of valley of the journey to death. I guess so. I'm not scared of death, I'm just scared of Earth and what they'll do to me in the process. Because one thing that I think we need to think about, we've changed a lot of other things to go back to being more natural. Why have we not done that with healthcare? Why is it so clinical and so cold? And it's just, who cares? And we have stupid things called visiting hours, like we're children. I mean, that doesn't apply to me having a guardian, but anyway, it just seems so immature. But unfortunately, parts of me have been a bit distracted with. I guess I'm just trying to navigate this stage of my life that only 2.5 years ago I knew I was going to be facing, plus symptoms. I don't even have my oxygen cylinders, which is so unsafe. They said they had a referral to respiratory for oxygen and cardiology, but then that was a lie. So this is the types of games they play. It is taunting me, dangling healthcare in front of me and then taking it away. Because I think what's happened at my hospital for me is if they treat me at all with 22q, that's admittance, and then that's a big case. It just was like a final stamp, you know. People care more about money than me. For me, it's not about money, it's about my health. The things I know I've just let happen to my body and ignored or downplayed to stay sane and away from the system, so I can feel like I can keep my worth, because I know the system will just destroy my worth. Isn't it funny how we go to that extreme just for that peace, to our own detriment? The things that I've endured that most people are at hospital for at home, most people don't do it to this level except for rare. I'm not the only person that deals with things so severe at home that most you'd be in the ICU. It is, having a medically complex person in the family is trauma for everyone. I think trauma happens to staff. I think it happens to anyone, including me. So we're trying to get the oxygen cylinders organised, but just since having the oxygen concentrator, it's like that smell of the plastic is just so triggering. It's funny how smells can just mean so much. It's like, I remember even as a little kid being the same. Every time you go into a doctor's surgery, there was a certain smell. As a little kid, I was just like, oh, and I would clam up. It's like, always meant pain for me. It's very, not a great childhood for health. Didn't matter which bit of it was. Sucked. And having even things like Skeeter syndrome, which is extreme swelling. I had very severe Skeeter syndrome as a child. And I couldn't verbalize how much pain I was in. I suffered. just never thought that an Australian would go through something like this, let alone be me. I'm the Australian going through this. It's not, I'm not saying other people are evil for just knowing about my situation and just sitting on it. I think there's this real sense of like apathy going on, and I don't blame people because the system has been creating this circle of absolute just nonsense around and around and around. And of course, you know, as you see along the way, if you know my story, the lawyers have been involved, and then off and on and off and on. There's been so much going on that I'm just sick of this circle. That has become what I do now. Just let it all go and let myself just live, and whatever happens, happens. The will to live is strong. You want to give up, but there's a path. We all have in us. It's called the will to live. It's not a joke. It's not just a saying. I have the will to live. I can't turn it off. It's really hard when I'm in that world again, just that brief moment where I am myself again. Those moments of strength where I might go out and get to chat to people or whatever. You have that brief moment of feeling normal. I have like this moment where everything slows down and I can just see everyone, and I'm like, these people are so lucky, because this will be something they'll do so many times for so many more decades. And I might not be here. Enjoy life, guys. Don't waste it. Don't waste it on skinny filters and worrying about what other people think, or thinking the grass is greener somewhere else all the time. Just accept things for what they are, because then you'll end up living authentically, and you'll naturally make changes that naturally need to be made, and your life will improve from there. The only way is authentic. Just do what you want to do. There is no rules. These jerks called politicians, guys, just live your life. Whatever you think is natural, normal, healthy is true for you. So don't let anyone tell you how you live your life, what you believe in, what you feel. Your feelings are allowed to be. Someone doesn't have to agree that those feelings match a situation. Who cares? Your feelings you're allowed to have. Live your best life. But I just never thought an Australian would have to say this, but here I am, an Aussie from a lucky country. World-class healthcare. We've got free healthcare. We've got Medicare. You're so lucky. That's not true. It's a lie. Very cute situations. Yeah, it's probably true. Even though some of those can be problematic. Depends on each person's experience, but it's just not true. Maybe it used to be, and I actually do think it used to be. I've never found, being someone that's used healthcare my whole life, since I can remember, it's never been like this before. Ever. So, I guess society as a whole being so greedy and selfish and money focused, I guess hospital systems aren't immune to that plague. So there you go. They're all about the money, not about the people. And that's why I think it's just so tacky when nurses and ambulance officers write that they care about us. If you cared about us, you'd be marching in the streets for us, saying we need more beds, we need this, we need that. Every profession, it doesn't matter if it's education or if it's just anywhere. If you really cared about your profession not doing well enough for the people you're meant to serve, you would protest. You would write letters to the members of parliament. That's just a fact. The sad fact is, really, is doctors just turn up for their salary. And we're just a number. It's not the world I like, but it's the world we're in. So this is what I have to contend lately. So my sincere apologies for not being in a mode of like my normal self, because I'm not my normal self. I've got the weight of the world on me at the moment. And I feel so far away from the norm of normal people, because now it's good that they don't know, but as you all know and can hear, this is not a common story by you guys around the world, those few of us. But when we look at the groups and masses around us, hey, we're not the common. We're not. And there's cognitive dissonances that's going to go on for people. I feel like it'll be after I'm gone, I feel like this will come up. It's the great failure. I don't know. But I know it's not just me, but I am getting it worse than others due to the fact that my syndrome is rare. So it makes it worse for me. So in a bad system, having something medically complex, late diagnosed, that's just, that whole combination is, I just foresee death as my demise because of this. They're not stepping up. They're not going to. They're going to let me go. And I have to prepare for that. So even I have cognitive dissonance, because it's not something I feel like I should have to do, but it's something that I'm stupid if I don't do, because no one's coming to save me. And when they take me away each time, if I have to be, and say it's, you know, my heart or whatever, I'm not going to come back. They're not going to the amount of encouragements of do not resuscitate, they're not going to save me. I know it. Because I'm broken in their eyes. And thank you to those that say I'm not broken, and I agree. But unfortunately, there are people in this world that are so fake. They don't think there's a place for people like me. It's just a sad fact. Okay, I'm okay. I'm okay. Okay, you don't have to lick it out. I'm all good. Mummy's strong. All right, that's the boy. So yeah, I guess pray for me. Wish me luck in my continued fight, because I have to keep fighting anyway. It's not doing anything, but I have to keep fighting anyway. And I'm not ready to leave yet. My heart might be struggling and things might be struggling, but I think the will to live is part of things, the spirit too. And I'm not ready. Life is just so beautiful and I love it too much. And I've got a lot to live for. That's for sure. So, but I am tired of fighting these people. It's negative and toxic. And I can't escape it because I'm fighting for my life. And if I stop, so will my body. So